So I've been hanging out with my friend Sam for I think 4 or 5 days. We were hunting. Well, he was hunting. I was shooting him, trying to shoot animals. We used to do that a lot. It was really fun, and we got to spend a lot of time in the truck, driving and just hanging out at camp, and just it's one of the only friends I have where I can just let my brain go crazy, and he allows it, encourages it sometimes. And one of these questions that popped up, and I really like this question. Have you guys, maybe you can help me out. Have you ever seen Groundhog Day? You know, the movie with Bill Murray where he relived the same day over and over and over and over again. And there was days where he drove off a cliff with the groundhog. There was days where he dropped a toaster in the bathtub. And then he woke up the next day and relived the exact same day. And then there was a point where he just learned piano. He learned how to dance. He learned all these things, and he took kind of advantage of the day. And it's I love that movie. I love Bill Murray. Got a picture of him on my wall just to remind me to maybe try and be more Murray-like. But the question, I don't know where it came from, but I asked Sam, I was like, hey, if you could pick one day to relive over and over and over again, just like Groundhog Day, what day would you choose? And I just asked it, and I didn't even think what I would choose. And then I started thinking, what would we choose, right? And it and immediately we were like, well, you kind of want to go with like your wedding, right? And then I was like, yeah, my wedding would be great. All your favorite people, the people you love, are all in one room, and you get to just have this day over again, over and over and over. And then I immediately thought, well, but then my kids, I don't get to see my kids again, and I love my kids more than anything on earth. And so that hurts. And I was like, wedding, but then what day with your kids? And one of them's only 6 months old, or almost 6 months old. And so it got really hard for me. I didn't know what day I would choose, but a bunch of days kind of kept popping up, and I've been kind of in a low this last month, and this made me think of all the really fucking awesome days I've had, and what days I just want to relive over and over and over and over again. What day would I choose? And it's been like a week and a half now since I asked that question. Actually, it hasn't. What day is it? I don't even know. Tuesday? It's been a week. It's only been 7 days. And I still don't have that answer. So I guess I'm putting this out into the universe. Maybe you could help. But just let me know. What day would you choose? What days are you debating between? Do you have a favorite day? Do you have a day you would love to go over and over? Maybe it's a day, I thought too, maybe it's a bad day. Maybe it's a day that things just went shit. And you're like, I just would like to redo this day. I would like to have a bunch of chances at it. That would be great. I would like that. And I still don't know. And then with friends, you're like, I would choose my wedding. Is like, oh, you would have to your wedding over and over and over and over and over. That's the same day. I'm like, any day you would choose, Sam, is the same day over and over again. He's like, wouldn't you get sick of it? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, the magic would be gone, but you'd start taking other chances, right? You'd start learning how to play piano like Bill Murray did, or you'd start learning how to dance, or you'd start doing good deeds instead of maybe dropping a toaster in the bathtub to just see what happens, to try and end it all, And then I was like, yeah, maybe one day you just, all your relatives and your grandma's there, and your wife's grandma are there, and you just show up naked, and just, who cares? You're going to relive it tomorrow. And then Sam had a very good point. He goes, what if that's the day where it all ends? And you don't know, right? And you're just up there naked, and grandma's smirking, or maybe licking her lips a little bit. That's disgusting. And all these kids are scarred because you're like, oh God, he doesn't tan from the waist down. Ick. looks like he's wearing tighty whities, you know? And, some people are impressed and some people are like, I've seen better. You know who those nasty ladies are. Or dudes, I suppose. But anyways, that was a good point, Sam. High five to you for that could be the last day. And then you have to live in that timeline where you showed up to your wedding naked. And I guess that's a good test for your marriage, right? To see if she sticks with you after that or not. Oh, man. Yeah, so you're with your buddy, and you're asking all these questions. Just weird shit. All the normal stuff, like, hey, how's life going? How's having kids? Is it weird? Is it hard? Is anything hard for you? How's life? How's business? How's that? And then you start getting into these weird nooks of your brain that you thought only you'd want to visit. But, man, you have some fucking awesome friends. And Sam's one of those fucking awesome friends who will go in those nooks and crannies with you and just go. Yeah, it's like an improv. It's always a yes and instead of like, you're fucking crazy, dude. There's none of that. It's always, yeah. And then we keep going. There's stuff I can't even talk about on here. But, we there's some of those other questions, if you've ever seen the movie Big Fish, there's a question where or not even a question. He opens a door. It's a fucking awesome movie. You guys should all see it if you haven't seen it. Big Fish. Tim Burton directed it. But there's a witch, and if you go open the door, she has a patch on her eye, and if you open the patch, you can see how you're gonna die. And then the choice is, well, I'm gonna ruin the movie a little bit for you, but in the movie, there's 3 kids, and one of them goes. They all look and they all get scared. And as they're walking away, they're like, did you see how you died? And he's like, yeah, I was real old. And then he goes, what about you? He's like, yeah, I wasn't old at all. And then the third kid looks in the eye and all you hear is, oh, that's how I go. And the whole story is about this dad and his story. And he tells these big stories about his life. And they're balancing on the line of fact and fiction, all the time of what part of these stories are true and which parts of them are fabricated, and you can never really know. And the son is trying to figure it out the whole entire movie as his dad's not doing so well. It's a great movie. You guys should watch it. But the question is, would you lift the patch of that witch and see how you were going to die? And I always assumed everyone would want to know. And I've asked this question lots of times over the years, and most people don't. They don't want to know how they're going to die. But it creates weird questions, right? If you knew how you were going to die, right? Say you were going to fall off a ladder or something. Could you just avoid ladders at this point, and everything else would be like, at least I'm not going to die. I might be paralyzed, from the wiener down, but I will be fine, or the wiener up. Reverse paralysis. That would be weird, right? Your legs work, but yeah, I don't think it works that way. That's interesting, though. I've never thought of it like that. You got to communicate with your toes. Okay, anyways, but would you want to know? That's another question. Those weird questions you ask with friends and maybe weird people too. And there's only a handful of people listening to this when I put them out. So I'm just curious. Would you, what day would you choose if you had to live one day over and over and over again? And 2, if you could look in a witch's eye to any witch with an eye patch will do this to you. But if you could look inside of a witch's eye under her eye patch and you could see how you're going to die, would you choose to do it? And why? I think those are 2 really cool questions. And so that was the week. Really great time with a good friend who I got to hang out in the woods with, and just watch him do his thing. And what's kind of cool about this is I don't have a lot of people I can talk Team Hoot stuff with or running a business with, because there's not a lot of people doing it. They took the conventional path. And when Sam and I decided way back when we weren't going to do that, it made way more sense to us to be like, if we want a shot at making a lot of money and doing the thing you love, because there's that old saying that if you find a job you love, you never work a day, or do work you love and you never work a day in your life, something like that. And we fucking jumped on that ship and ran with it. And he went into the hunting space and photography and video space, and I did pole vault full time and started making videos. I just liked making videos, and that turned into all sorts of other opportunities. And when Sam was starting to do that, he built a school bus. He turned into a hunting mobile shack and like a traveling billboard for public lands and raising money for public lands. And he has a company called Public Land Tees, if you don't know any of this story. And while he was building the bus, I was making a vlog every single day for a year. I was like halfway in, and I'm like, Sam, just let me film this and like try and tell this story and help your mission. And I did. And it was cool and it was fun. It felt like we were doing something, and we didn't know what was in the future. And we were just on it. We're like, looking back, it feels like we're just little kids. Just trying something crazy, throwing Hail Marys. We didn't have anything. We had nothing to lose. If it didn't work, we were right where we are. But what they don't tell you about doing the thing you love is that can change over time. And it's kind of changed for both of us. Like Sam mentioned to me that like photos and videos, he loved making them. And then when it turned into like a job where there were deadlines and other people were telling him what videos and photos to take all the time, it changes it. Like you're still doing the thing, but the reason you're doing the thing changes. And that's what happened to me with pole vault. With pole vault, I was like, I just want to try and solve this problem, and I want to help other people do it. And so then I went down there and I was trying to like show a side of the sport that nobody else had, that nobody else was showing, like the behind the scenes of what the elites were doing, and kind of showing that, hey, the elites are just doing the same stuff you guys are doing. And here's what it looks like. It's not any different. It's just faster. Like you get on a new pole, it's like starting over. You get a new grip, it feels like you're starting over. You get a little bit faster, a longer run, a little stronger. You're just doing the same stuff, just a little faster. Everyone's just doing the same thing, and that just felt like a really cool thing to like discover and then want to share it with people. And for me, I've been like in the sport for so long, I hardly find any more rocks to lift up that I haven't seen what's underneath them. And it hasn't been as fun anymore, Or every year I get the same question: how do you invert? Can you review my video? How do I invert? Can you review my video? How do you invert? Can you review my video? How do you invert? It's like, oh my God, I've answered this thousands of times over the last 15 years. It's not in me anymore. It's like not very fun. And so we got to just talk. I have a friend. Thank God I have a friend that I can talk about some of this stuff with. And it makes you, and it kind of brought up a question in my own head, like, would I want to go back to where I didn't have any money coming in, but it was like fun to not have any money coming in, versus you have money coming in, but you got to keep doing the stuff that it's kind of draining. It's a job now. And I wrestle with this a lot. I know this is a very first world problem and a lot of people don't have jobs or have money, and we're in a weird place. And I'm not trying to complain about it. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm complaining about it, because I do like helping give people the things, to help their it's not even a passion, but the things they're interested in, the goals that they have. I like helping people accomplish their goals. But man, I really like to feel lit up. I like new things. And so kind of going back to this hunt kind of reminded me of that again. Well, Sam was needed to take photos and things for his obligations. This was new to me. I was like, oh man, I love taking photos and videos. And I just helped him do some stuff for some of his clients that he has. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is really fun. This is really fun again. I had a blast doing it. And we kind of came up with some fun, cool ideas again. And it was a good trip. It's really good. That's all I'm trying to say. And not just that, I got to see my friend again that I haven't seen in a long time. And I don't know, maybe you guys are aware of this, but as you become older, you have to work really hard to stay in touch with your friends. Because, like, I even catch myself kind of just secluding back to myself. Like, I want to hang out with my kids. They're growing so fast. And when I looked through my phone just 3 months ago, Amelia's talking different. She's a whole different person. And Luke, good God, man. That first year they grow, like, daily. You're like, what? He's chasing me now in the house in his walker. He is literally chasing me around the house. And then when he grabs my pant leg, he goes, "Arr!" And that you just want to spend time. I want to spend time in that space. But also getting away was really hard. And then looking back, and not looking back, coming back, I was calmer and I just wanted to be around him. Now, unfortunately, the day before I was driving back home, they got sick. So Amelia and Luke got sick, and then Carrie got sick, and then I came home, and then I got sick. So for the last week, we have all been sick. It's the first time our entire family has been sick. And that's been really hard. Just trying to navigate that and figure out, what to do. Is it okay to have them watch more screen time? Because when I used to be sick, you would just sit in front of the TV and watch Price is Right and eat popsicles and drink Sprite. And that's what you would do all the time. And I'm sitting there just wanting to eat popsicles and drink Sprite and watch The Price is Right. But I have 2 kids just as sick. I mean, as bad as I felt, I couldn't imagine those kids. I just felt so horrible for them. They were sick before I was. So day 2 of being sick was when I just got home and I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with these kids? Worse headache. No, it doesn't matter. But part of you's like, I just want to let Amelia sit in front of the TV and watch all the Toy Stories back to back. And I'll get her some Sprite, She won't like The Price is Right, I don't think, but hot damn, we'll do it for her. And it was hard. It was really hard because I couldn't move. I had no energy. It was just gone. I just did like that 30-mile run a week prior, and then I broke my step record that day. And then I had my second most step record with Sam. We hiked into a place 5.5 miles and then 5.5 miles back out. And then we did more hunting that day. So I think we ended up walking, I think we calculated out to like 16 or 17 miles that day. And felt good though. And then boom, sick. And like I said, I just wanted to lay there. And they needed me. And that was hard. That was so hard, you guys. They don't talk. There's no parenting book that talks about that. But there was a day that broke me. And I was just trying to help Amelia. And I was dying of sickness. I'm sure she was too. And she just said, I know, like you. I know, want you. I know, like you. I know, want you. And fuck, man. It's the first time she said that to me. And that hurt. That hurt a lot. That hurt a whole bunch. And I didn't handle that well. I mean, I was already in not such a great headspace. And when your 2-year-old saying that to you, it just hurts a lot. And deep down, she just doesn't want you in that moment, or she just doesn't want the situation. She wants something else, and she doesn't know how to communicate it. And logically, that makes sense. And there's this emotional part of you that gets kicked in the nuts with a wide foot, so it hits them both at the same time, and you get an instant stomach ache. And you're like, oh. I don't know. I'm still kind of recovering from that one. That was like 4 days ago. It was hard. That one was hard. But yeah, that was the week of sick, and then Halloween was pretty fun, honestly. Let me tell you this thing I usually do for Halloween. Since we moved in this house, I think this is our 5th year here. So for 4 years, I have worn a ghillie suit. And if you don't know what a ghillie suit is, it's a suit where you look like a bush or a grass. You can look like all sorts of different stuff, but you look like nature. And there's a bush right in front of our sidewalk to go up to our house, and I would sit in front of the bush, and while people would walk by, I would sneeze and scare the crap out of people. And if there was adults, I would just scream at the top of my lungs and scare the hell out of them. And it was my favorite thing to do. So I didn't care if it was cold or rainy. I was wearing that ghillie suit sitting in front of that bush, and no one could see me. It was awesome. It was so freaking awesome. And this year, though, Amelia wanted to go trick-or-treating. So Carrie's sister came over to hand out candy, and me and Carrie went out with my niece and her friend, my niece Maddie, and we went trick-or-treating. And as we were walking down our driveway, I heard a parent go, "Oh, I think this is the house. I think this is the house. I think this is the house." And we're like, "What?" We walk, well, it's my house. It's like, "What are you talking about? What house do you think is this the house where, like, that bush scares you?" I was like, "Oh, no." I was like, it is actually. But I usually do that, but I'm taking my 2-year-old trick-or-treating, and they just went, "Oh, man, we try and hit up this house every single year just so they can scare our kids." And then I guess as we were trick-or-treating, Bobby was keeping notes of what people were saying. And I guess multiple people, quite a few people, I think she had a list of like 5, 6, 7, or 8 people. This was like, I thought this was the house where that bush scared you. And I guess some kid goes, "Oh, there's a jump scare. I think there's usually a jump scare around one of these houses." And I was like, God dang. It's kind of cool that people remembered the house, remembered just me scaring the shit out of them. And I guess it made me feel good because I just did it for me. And sometimes people, go, I don't know if you should do that. That's not really appropriate, But it feels good when you can put yourself out there and do something that's fun for you, and other people like it too. And the people who don't, fuck them, I guess. And I really haven't ran into any of those. My favorite one from last year is I scared this mom. And I scared her so bad, she threw her candy into the house, her kid's candy that she was holding, into the side of my house, and all of her candy spilled all over the place. I scared a dog one year. Dog walked right past me. I just went, "Achoo!" The dog, blah, 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 blah. This little white fluffy fuck of a dog. Oh God, it was so fun. So much fun. And yeah, that's been the week, and that's why this is out a little late, because I've been under the weather, and just when nighttime comes around and the kids are asleep and they're all nestled in bed, I usually come down here and give this little chat with you guys a little bit. And I didn't. I just fell asleep. I was tired. This is the last thing I'll say. It's super inappropriate, but I feel like the people who are here might think it's funny. On the 4th of, or not the 4th of July, on Halloween. I was walking with Maddie and her friend. They're 15, by the way, and someone started shooting fireworks, and one of them goes, "Oh my God, are those guns? Is that gunfire?" And we're like in this nothing little town, it's not big at all. Big. It's a good medium-sized town, but nothing like that would happen here. And out of my brain, because I've been hanging out with Sam, and all the filters are gone. I just didn't worry about what I was saying. I just went, "No, they can't be guns. We're not close enough to a school." I was like, oh, fuck. I should have said that. I can't say that. That's shame. Shame on you, Shawn. Bad. Don't say that. And maybe it's because it's my niece, but they started laughing hysterically. Not cool. If this was 2 years ago, I'd probably be canceled for even saying this. But you guys, that's been my week. And yeah, those questions are just really good. And it felt really good to have all those filters off. Hanging out with a friend again who can talk about just and relate to the same kind of problems you're going through. He's the only other person I know right now that is going through the same stuff, which is, I feel very lucky and fortunate to have one of those people in my life. So yeah, kind of a weird one this week, but I feel like I gotta keep them going. I'm starting to get an itch to make videos again. I think just hanging out with Sam for 4 days, being behind the camera instead of in front of it, and being like, oh, I'm kind of a little rusty on this. I kind of want to make some shots. Like I want to try some stuff again, and kind of get the itch. And I'm watching old videos with Amelia again, and there's just stuff I don't remember. I know these are old vlogs that I've been saying, or old podcasts I've talked about, where it feels like your brain just can't retain stuff anymore, and it feels very much like that again. And I'm just trying to get back there. So that was the week. Still trying to overcome the sickness. So I'm sorry for coughing into the microphone. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Oh, one more thing. I'm gonna repost a podcast that I took down about not feeling connected to your kid. I gotta re-edit some stuff out of there. It was someone asked if I could take some stuff out, so I will be doing that, and then I will be reposting that. And yeah, Christmas is coming up. It's kind of crazy. At our house, we kind of skip Thanksgiving. We do Thanksgiving, but the week after Halloween is like all the Christmas shit's going up. And then the last few years on Christmas, we took it down because we were like, that's enough. It's over. We opened all the gifts. Santa came. Boom. Done. And so, yeah, it's been a thing. It's been a lot. It's been a whole bunch of stuff. But I feel like I keep wanting to connect and talk to you. So thanks for listening to me ramble every week. And it's been pretty cool, the people reaching out and, sharing their thoughts on my thoughts. And then I can share, my thoughts on your thoughts. So appreciate you reaching out. With that said, life is meant to be experienced, and curiosity will get you there. See you next week.